Hi, welcome back to the channel. This week, it's Zenon Basslines again, and specifically in Vital. After I did the Serum one, I had a few people ask me how to do it in Vital, so here you go. And to be honest, this one broke my brain a little bit, so I'm quite happy that I actually ended up getting the result. So just to recap, this is what we did in Serum. And let's see if we can get somewhere close to that in Vital. So here we just have an initialized instance. Let's just solo this. Now the first thing we want to do is create two saw waves. Basic shapes. Let's turn down the octaves. Let's go -1 for a start. Random phase down on oscillator 2. And let's go and check our MIDI first of all. Now this is what we had in Serum. And if you recall, we had this kind of sucking up bit into the main offbeat bass, which is this one here. But we don't have the keyboard split functionality in Vital like we do in Serum. So instead, let's extend this top one to be 1/4 long. So let's delete all of these. And then the top row, let's drag them across and we're going to extend them to be 1/8 long. Let's check that. That all looks okay. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit. Rather than edit this pattern, let's just loop that. So basically 1/4. I think we need to come down another octave. Alright, there we go. Now, this bit, pay attention to. We need to have a way to flip the first half of this note from oscillator A to oscillator B. And to do that, we're going to set up a little switch here. So let's go 1/4, turn down the level, turn down the level. And we're going to attach that to the level of both. Smooth down. Now, as you'd expect, with that, they both play a triangle up and down. Let's change this to 2, and then we're going to draw in. And in fact, let's bring up a oscilloscope so we can check what's happening. And if we look at what's happening now, we get the expected amplitude on the second half, but then we also get this first half. And that is because on my default preset, I have the delay on. So let's turn that off. And now when I play this back, we only get oscillator, in this case, oscillator 2 playing because it's playing in the second half of this quarter note. So the second oscillator is going to be our offbeat bass, and then the top one is going to be our reversed, not reversed, but kind of sucking up sound. But now we need a way to activate the first half as well. So let's go to our matrix here, click up here, and then we need to go to the mod remap and turn this down the other way. So there we have it. We have a constant saw wave that is driven by this switch here. And why does that matter? Now that gives us the flexibility to modulate each of these separately, but within the boundaries of, in this case, a 1/8 note, i.e. this half or separately this half. Let's just add 2 filters onto here. Let's go analog 24 on both. We'll turn down the resonance on both. Let's do a nice even number, so then I can just literally copy it into both. Filter 1 is from oscillator 1 and filter 2 is oscillator 2. So at the moment, they both have a discrete path. Let's also do what we did in Serum and map a macro to each of these. Let's put these on bipolar and then we'll turn this up. Let's go, I don't know, we'll do it by ear. We'll do it first at quite a low value, 20, and then we'll do it by ear after that. So now we've done that, we get into the first of the individual modulations. And that's LFO 2. Like I said, we want that to be the sucking up initial sound. Let's put that on 1/8. We'll draw a ramp. Now this one's going to modulate the attack. And we want the attack to be perfectly 1/8. So there's 2 ways to do it. We could assign LFO 2 to the level here. That's the most obvious way to do it. However, we already have LFO 1 acting as a switch on that level. So instead, let's go to Matrix. And here, let's go LFO 2, and we're going to control the depth of matrix slot 1 with LFO 2, and I'll explain that more in a moment. So we want modulation 1 amount. Now when I play this back, you'll notice something immediately wrong. Make sure this is on envelope. You still see that it's exactly the same. That's because we have the level of oscillator 1 already up. Let's turn that down to 0. And now you can see this is being increased by the amount that we set here. So if I turn this down to 0, there's nothing. If I turn it up, we start to get this attack here. And we can change this curve, so that changes that also. Let's do something like this for now. Let's give it a kick because we're starting to sound almost like it. Don't worry about this part here. This will be cut out by LFO tool or whatever you choose for that task. And you heard when I was adjusting this modulation amount, the impact that it makes. So turn it down, we just have that offbeat bass. We turn it up, we get more of a slide up. So around there I think really sounds good, but we don't want to come into here every time. So instead, let's go macro 2, and we'll go to mod matrix, and we'll put this on, let's have a look. This is mod slot 5. So modulation 5 amount. Let's turn this all the way up, and we'll turn this one down. So now here, macro 1 controls the amount of this sweep up. Now there's nothing as you'd expect. Turn it up, and that starts to come in. So let's call that sweep, for want of a better term. While we're on LFO 2, let's put this one on the cutoff, like that as well. That's going to be too much. Let's turn it down. We just want a little bit of sweep up on the filter. And there I just turned up the cutoff on filter 2 so that when the sweep up of filter 1 ends and filter 2 takes over, they're roughly in the same place. I just did it by ear. You don't need to be too scientific about it. Still keeping a macro 1 so that they adjust simultaneously. Now let's go to envelope 2. We're going to attach that to the cutoff here. And then we'll draw in a typical curve like so. So I think that's starting to get there. Let's put LFO tool on. This is exactly the same as we had on the previous one. Just to cut out the end and to cut out the start, that will get rid of this here. I think that's starting to sound good. Let's go back to our MIDI. And now we're going to extend this all the way over so we can hear that variation in the pattern. Let's just move this one down here. So now we can do a side by side. This is Serum. And this is Vital. I think they're pretty close actually. So there we go, Zenon Basslines in Vital. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back soon with something else. We'll see you then. Bye.